At the Christmas party, my millionaire son hugged me and said, "Enjoying the $5,000 a month, Mom?" I went pale and replied, "Son, I'm working 2 jobs." That's when my greedy daughter-in-law choked on her food. "I'm glad to have you here. Follow my story until the end and comment the city you're watching from so I can see how far my story has reached." I'm Doreen, and at 65 years old, I thought I'd seen every kind of heartbreak life could throw at me. I was wrong. Nothing prepared me for what happened at my son's Christmas party last December when my entire world crumbled with just one sentence. The party was everything I'd expected from Boyd and his wife Edna, extravagant, cold, and designed to impress people I'd never met. Their house looked like something out of a magazine, all marble countertops and crystal chandeliers. I stood in the corner of their massive living room, wearing my best dress, a navy blue number I'd bought on clearance 3 years ago, feeling completely out of place among the designer gowns and expensive suits. My feet were killing me. I'd just finished an 8-hour shift at the grocery store where I work as a cashier, and before that, I'd spent the morning cleaning offices downtown. At my age, working 2 jobs wasn't easy, but it was the only way I could make ends meet. My Social Security barely covered my rent, let alone food and medication. Boyd was across the room, looking every inch the successful tech CEO he'd become. Tall, confident, wearing a suit that probably cost more than I made in 2 months. He was laughing with some business associates, gesturing with a crystal glass of what I knew was expensive whiskey. My chest swelled with pride despite everything. He'd worked so hard to get where he was, and I'd sacrificed everything to make sure he could. Edna floated between groups of guests like she owned the world. She'd always been beautiful, blonde, perfectly put together, with the kind of confidence that comes from never having to worry about money. But there was something cold in her green eyes whenever she looked at me, something that made me feel small and unwanted. I was reaching for a small sandwich from the appetizer table when Boyd approached me. He'd had a few drinks, I could tell by the slight flush in his cheeks and the way he moved just a little too confidently. "Mom," he said, wrapping his arm around my shoulders in what looked like an affectionate gesture, but felt somehow calculated. "You're looking good. Really good." "Thank you, sweetheart," I replied, trying to ignore how forced his smile seemed. "This is a lovely party. You and Edna have outdone yourselves." He nodded, but his eyes had that distant look I'd grown accustomed to over the years, like he was performing the role of a good son rather than actually being one. "I'm glad you're here," he continued, and then his voice took on a tone I'd never heard before, casual, almost mocking. "Enjoying those $5,000 a month, Mom? Really living it up, I hope." The words hit me like a physical blow. I felt the blood drain from my face, my knees nearly buckled. $5,000? What was he talking about? "Honey," I whispered, my voice barely audible above the party chatter. "What $5,000? Boyd's expression shifted from casual confidence to confusion.